No, it's right here. Thank you. All right, welcome in, everybody. It's a great beat extravaganza. How's everybody doing? Hello. What a fantastic day for beating. Okay, so it was like last minute things where is this? Where is that? All the things that you're supposed to have right there is not right there. And I'm getting the light set up and literally, so we're going to see how this goes. The thing just, so it took me a second to try to figure if I could get it wedged back on, and then obviously you can see it didn't get back on. So we're gonna see how the light works. So happy Great Beat Extravaganza. It is the spring fling. I hope you guys are getting, even more excited just as like the time goes on. I hope it keeps getting better for you. We've had some fantastic presenters. I always love seeing what everybody brings, and there seems to be a lot of metalwork here this round, but it is always fun to see each of our styles, each of our kind of fortes, and sometimes, things that are outside of what you guys might consider the norm in terms of style too, as we are also exploring and discovering new ways to do stuff too, So hopefully you guys are rested up, like you had your little snack and your drink, and, get a chug. I'm going to need to do that. So I'm excited to be here with you guys. Let's see. I'm seeing a few eyes in here. I think we need to have more eyes. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Is it a busy Sunday? I feel like we should at least get into the 3 digits. Can you guys make sure you guys like and share and do all the things, that help the algorithms? That helps each, and do that on every presentation. It really, really helps the algorithms here on Facebook. It helps get us pushed up to help spread the joy of beating. Okay, we think more the merrier. It is a great therapy. It is colorful. It makes the world, I feel like, a little bit brighter and more colorful place to be, right? And that's what I try to do in life, is just leaving the world a little bit better than I found it. Okay, and I love just adding a bit of color. I love that jewelry tells a story. So as we are learning, new techniques or meeting new people, whatever brings the jewelry together, or the people that we gift it to, and sharing that joy is so many parts of the jewelry and beading experience. And so I never get tired of it. I have told you guys in the past, I feel like once the bead bug hits, I know Candy Cooper says that the cycle is like 21 months, but, I say once you get hit by that bead bug, you're in it forever. You can see Francesca, I don't think she's completely left, beating behind. You can see the fantastic things. In fact, I saw that she made a beautiful bail. So, we'll talk about, we'll show it on something. So, you can see how that design works. So today we're going to be talking about this little itty bitty thing called a bail. Okay, these are things that help us, I guess, connect oftentimes focal pieces to another thing. Okay, generally for us it's going to be a necklace, but maybe you could use it for like a purse charm, or whatever wherever the technique may take you. But I'm excited to kind of show you a lot of different styles of maybe things you might have seen out there and you're like, oh, I've seen these, but I'm not exactly sure how they work, and kind of show you a variety of different styles of BAILS, and then we're going to get our hands onto some wire and play around a little bit. Okay, does that sound like some fun? Can you guys hit the hearts? Can you put some comments in here? I love knowing where you guys are coming in from. I'll say hello to Miss Tony and Mary and Amy and Evelyn and Abby and Fran and Donna and Janelda. I love seeing all the people. Teresa and Rosalinda and Ellen and Cherie. I love seeing all the new names too. It is so wonderful. And Judy and Barbara and Cynthia. Dave, it's always a pleasure to see you here at the Great Bead. And Cindy and Lori and Sandy, it's always great to see new people. Paula, you're number 95. You're Paula number 2. You're still Paula number 2, though. Hey, Susan and Elaine, I'm so glad you guys are here. It always makes me feel right at home. I always get a little bit nervous coming on to the Great Bead Extravaganza. Like, we're with some powerhouses, some big, big people, and I feel so honored to be a part of such a fantastic group. So let's throw our head, because you know how I try to push in too many things into the live and don't get enough time. So let's see what's on my table. Let's see, I hear maybe like a cat outside my door here. All right. So we'll take a look at what's on my table now. How's that lighting right now? Because, like I said, that little sheath thing came off, and I don't know. Can we see? So when we are talking about BAILS are the little thing that are on top of oftentimes little pendants. Okay, you'll see them in this is a design we did one Great Bead Extravaganza, and we used something called a pinch bail on this one. And then we have touched in on here in one of the most recent ones. We made kind of just a simple bail, added a little flare. Okay. I pulled out some ones that we have done here in the Great Bead, so you could see that this right here is that bail. So the piece that helps then connect whatever it is you want to connect this to. So a purse charm, I don't know, a zipper pull, a fan pull, whatever you guys are making. Okay. So I've brought out some things. We had Friday Night Live. That's our live sale event that I have over at Stars Beads. And these were some of those things that we're going to kind of choose on. What do you guys want to make a bail for? And I'll show you some wire designs that you can do that are a little bit more decorative than just a plain simple loop. But you just got to start small. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. I put out, you know what, I think we're going to also zoom in here. And so I'm going to just kind of dump. I just kind of pulled things, and I figure we could just kind of talk about them and say, oh, when do you use these kind of things, right? All right. So let's talk. Okay, so this was the pinch bail. This was something like you saw with Francesca, where you guys made this piece right here and added those that cool ball pin right here as the teeth. Okay, and then the way that's used is you're going to this shows it, which it still works, but you could also of course use it on a gemstone. But one of the things that you have to watch for is that the hole has to be big enough for the little teeth right here. All right, and then you can see it can fit that much thickness. It can actually go a little bit bigger, you know, so just as long as those little prongs are in there, these are handy. So these are called pinch bails. This is another style when we sell, we have these like little packets that come with some of our crystal bears on beadoria.com. And so when you have things that are like a little itty bitty, like a crystal or something you want to put a bail on, okay, you're just gonna open this up and get it in that hole. Now, one of the things you also will have to watch for is how far down that hole is, okay? Because then there's also this style of kind of pinchable bail, which is neat. We carry these. And in this case, let me maybe pull a big... let's see, what do I have handy? I don't know, I have this handy right now. I don't know, this might be a little big. But like taking a big bead, opening this up, and so pinching the prongs in there, make it the pinchable bail. Okay, so you get those holes lined up. And this was made for a slightly smaller bead, but, and then in this case I'm going to twist it, and you can see how fun this style is. Okay, but this could accommodate something that had a hole further down. Okay. So when we're kind of looking at different, when you see these little prongs, that's your kind of indication it's like a pinch bail. Then there's ones that are glue-on bails. We'll kind of show a couple different kinds of glue-on bails. Okay, are you guys familiar with these? Hey Jennifer, glad you could pop on. Hi Karen. Susan, don't worry. I'm just going through some of the different type of bails that there are out there. So this, as you can maybe imagine, is you'll take it on, say, something like this. Although there's a hole here, maybe you don't care to use that hole. You could use a little glue on, okay? Use a little E6000 or, you know, nice good glue, okay? And then glue that right on there, and it adds a bail, okay? Is that Dreamcatcher charm I see on your... Do I have a Dreamcatcher charm? Okay, so that's kind of a glue on. And then there's this kind, okay? Familiar with maybe these ones, especially if you're a glass maker. Actually, I just sold some cabochons. These would be good for last week. And, but if you have, again, something big that doesn't have a hole and is also flat, although this is a beautiful too, you can glue this on and then it adds this as a bail. E6000 is my preferred glue. I know, those are vintage. These are actually, I mean, you know, we've been around since the 80s, you know. Okay, so pinch bails, okay? Pinch bails, glue-on bails. This is pinch bail. All right, then kind of, let's talk about, oh, wow, this isn't the right one, hold on. This is also a glue-on as well. These are cool types, and this is if you have something that you want to also maybe be a brooch. Okay, this can be kind of glued closer to the top here. Okay, that way then you got the pin and the brooch. You can maybe either have it showing or hiding. You can decide a little bit. Okay, so that's a neat component. I thought I had that in there, and I guess I consider that a glue-on. So different types. All right, now kind of thinking outside the box, saying, okay, you know, not everybody has, you know, these type of components. You know, oftentimes these are when probably a vendor sells a particular, you know, style item, you know, that kind of requires it, that, you know, that's when they're kind of, we package them together, right, to make it easy. But, you know, when you're trying to be creative here and using all your bits and pieces, these are, you know, a great little set of ways to use some parts maybe that didn't have holes, okay, or have holes that you don't know how to get from, like this. You love this piece, okay, and it has a hole here. Yeah, we could put like a jump ring through there, right? And but we know that getting a jump ring, and this is kind of thick, is going to be a big jump ring, okay, and will probably get deformed, right? So how do you make something that looks good that isn't a jump ring, right? Or even taking something like this or a donut, and how we can make that into something a little cooler. So let's talk about outside the box. Okay, so then there are like vintage filigree pieces like this that I have used. I have bags of these actually, and one of our lives we patinaed them into a bunch of fabulous colors. Okay, and then you can bend it right over like a bail making plier. And put it through with a little ball pin and wrap that tail right in the back to secure it. You love that bead strand? These are the rainbow strands coming in from Bedoria. So if you get the kits, they look like, I dumped them out, but they come in all sorts of colors. So that's where the rainbow comes from. And so here's like the silver mix. It'll come with gold beads. It'll also come with some of these charms in there. It'll also come with some stretchy stuff. So you can get a whole bunch of colors, and this was stringing all of the colors in every one of those bags in these colors. But we have more colors than that. I just did the rainbow. All right, so cool on that, right? Do you guys like that? So I didn't really put together a kit, but maybe I can make a bail bag. I don't know. You guys can let me know. We can talk about it at the end. All right, so those are cool because I can do those bails. I can do some pinch bails in a bag. All right, those are neat. So instead of using just a plain old jump ring to attach something, we're thinking of different ways. All right, so that was kind of using those old random parts that maybe, I mean, because of course you could use them in, you know, an earring, of course. That style. Okay. All right, try and give you some inspiration. Okay, so that's one way we did pinchables. All right, and then look at this. So another thing is, for those that do kumahimo, thinking outside the box, you got those toggles. Toggles are a great bail. Look, they're already built in. You got the ring and the ring, all there. Okay, and you oftentimes the hardest part with the bails are ones that will fit over our beads, right? So here you can see the toggle is a really nice way. Yeah, I have these filigree. I don't know, can you? Okay, and then you can, of course, attach, you know, whatever it is you've made, right? In this case, for example, right? So, or those that do kumahimo, because we know that toggles can come in a variety of sizes. If you do a tiny one, of course, you could go tinier, right? Or twisted. I guess this is silver, depending on how big your pendant is, right? I also was thinking that an S-clasp would probably be a cool, so let's now start talking like interchangeable. Interchangeable bails are also very cool. This is a type of interchangeable. Okay, so if you have something with just a little ring like this, right? You can pop it in there. This ring might not be big enough. Okay, but you're going to pop this in there. I don't think it's big enough. Excuse me. Let's see if I have something looped that's big enough. Excuse me. All right, let's take this, for example. All right, this one just has a nice big jump ring. Okay, and so you just push that right onto there, and voila, you got yourself a bail. All right, how am I doing here on time? All right. Now let's get to, all right, so that was like enough talk about different bails that maybe you guys have seen out there, okay? So, oh, I didn't get to the S bail. So I was also thinking that the S hook would also be a nice like interchangeable style. So you could open this up and keep it closed onto a design, right? And then on this side, you could then hang, so maybe instead of putting it on there, we'll put it onto here, and you could close this, okay, and you could take those rings off, of course, or leave them on there and add some doodads to them, okay, and have kind of an interchangeable bail that way, okay? And then you say, oh, well, these are all these random parts and pieces, okay, and, you know, I don't know where to find them, and, you know, because it is random, you definitely search all of us here at The Great Bead on different types of bails, because we carry, I'm sure, all different kinds, but this is kind of looking at, you know, some of your everyday things that you probably have, like, you know, toggles, maybe some random filigree pieces that would work, and kind of, you know, thinking things in a new light, okay? Or maybe you have had these things and you're like, what the heck are those? Like, I don't even know what those are. All right, so let's see. So that was fun. Get those off the screen. All right, so now, thank you. This is just a fun one. We were doing a little upcycle. I think we took a ring off of an old piece. All right, let's, okay, so another wrap bail too is ones that this is, you know, kind of the bird's wrap, wire wrap. You know, that's kind of the original, right? Okay, so what do you guys like right here? I like the show to be made for you, so can we, now we're halfway. Oh, good, look at us, we got some good numbers looking. Can we get us, I love to see if we can get over like 200. Maybe I'll give something good away if we can share this feed and make sure you like this post. Maybe I'll do something good and crazy at 200 people. All right. Let's put in some numbers. I'm gonna do. What should we put a bail to? 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we think? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in a number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, Carolyn. All right, so this is a donut. This has a little hole in the top, so maybe this one had the hole at the top. This one is a large bead. Put it in the comments. I love doing this kind of work around rings. Also did it here. So we're going to show maybe a bail that we can put onto here. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a look. We'll put in the boats right now. You say, donut, bottom left. Okay, donut. You guys seem to like the donut. Then you like 3. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3. Oh, 3, 4. Ooh, look at you guys. I think 3. You guys seem to be on 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We're gonna play with those two. Okay. That sounds good. In fact, you know what I want to do? Okay, so this is a has this just plain black on the back, and I happen to have this like rainbow thing sitting around. What do you think if I does that look kind of cool? If I put that on there, on this wrap, and see what that looks like on here. Oh, it's gold though. This is kind of silver. I don't know. Maybe we could do a gold and silver wrap. Would this be kind of cool? I was trying to see if I could then put it on my rainbow necklace. I don't know if this goes with my rainbow necklace, but I think that goes with my rainbow necklace. Right? I don't know. Or I could put it on this horse. This horse is a little thinner. Like that. Oh, that looks really cool. All right, maybe I'll save it for this horse. I don't know. I kind of like it with that, huh? I mean, black looks good too. All right, that's hard decisions. All right, I get it. All right, first things first. Let's. We're gonna be pulling out some craft wire here today. I'm gonna be using kind of your basic pliers. So if you guys are new to wire, this is gonna be great basics for all of you wire workers. Okay, and maybe, you know, very seasoned ones too. All right, I'm gonna use probably bail making, some round nose, some nylon jaws, some chain nose, and some cutters. Okay, I'm going to use mostly 18 and 24, 26 gauge wire here today. Okay, so, all right, we want to make it reversible. Okay, sounds like we'll still put it on there, and we're going to mix the metals. All right, that means we're going to be doing a gold and silver combination. Okay, and for putting a little blip for the Softflex company here. We love those guys over there. All right, I'm gonna try this. I don't exactly know how that's gonna turn out, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna take some 18 gauge wire. All right, so when you don't have it, you make it, right? Okay, so let's take what am I making? Let's make a We'll make a skinny bail. We'll make the skinny bail first. All right, ready. We're going to take, I think we're going to take skinny, maybe a foot. I'm going to take a foot. Well, I'm totally bad at measurement. I think that's more than enough, so. But we're going to take a foot of the 18 gauge wire. We're going to fold this in half. Are there codes available? I'm doing a free gift for all of those on bedoria.com. So if you just type in TGBE in the comments when you check out, I am doing 20% off on all of our gemstone carvings and miniatures. So like geodes and crystals, those kind of different type of crystals than beads. And then so you can cash in on both of those things. Or you can also watch Friday Night Live. So if you like these things here, like these are things we showed on Friday Night Live. Okay, and so you can still shop the replay. In fact, I extended the shopping the replay till tomorrow because I know that we're on here now live. So, but you know, once this is over, you could have a few more hours of fun. Right after this. All right, so I folded it in half and, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy talking and I didn't really need to do that. I was just meaning to find the center and started, okay, let me open that back up. All right, because we need to stick the pieces in there. Well, I didn't need to make it quite so sharp. All right, here we go though. Maybe we'll straighten that back out. I didn't mean to do that. And that's the beauty of the wire straightener. Let's pretend that didn't happen. All right. We wanted to make it reversible, so we're going to use this sawdust pendant coming in from the Philippines. I consider it kind of like the filigree or cloisonne of the Philippines. All right, so we're going to kind of fold this up. This is thick, so that would be really hard to just add a jump ring to without adding like a very, very big one. All right, so we're gonna get here so that it's fairly close. But you still want to have some okay movement. And then we're gonna I'm taking chain nose pliers and I'm gonna look how that works. Okay, so that we're trying to get these wires now kind of parallel. Okay. Okay, let's pull out, we decided a mixed metal tone, so here is your silver. That's exactly right, Kim. I feel like mistakes are meant to happen. All right, so I kind of feel like this one could use like a wider bail. But I wanted to show the simpler one first. That's okay. We're going to do this wide one and see how it looks. See what you guys think. I'm taking 26 gauge wire and I'm going to cut off about 2.5 feet of it. Okay. Oh, thanks you guys for inserting the information for my live. You guys are awesome. I think I might have forgotten to share this onto my page too. You guys could share it into the group. Would be awesome. Share it everywhere. Hi, Midnight. All right, so we're going to start wrapping. So I'm going to wrap both here. Right here at the bottom. Okay, but it's okay that there's it not being perfect. Some of this is going to be hidden a little bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten out this curly wire right now. you know, it comes off that spool. It's super curly, so I'm just going to try to straighten it out just a little bit while I'm before I get started. All right, and then let's zoom in so you guys can kind of maybe see the work just a little bit closer. Maybe that's a little too close. Should take those out of scene. Help out a little bit. All right, here we go. We're going to do I think I'm going to do this wider one. So I'm going to do this first. Or maybe we'll do, I should do the donut. All right. We're going to V this right here, because I think this deserves kind of like a wider bail. It's kind of a big pendant. I don't know if I want it that wide, so we're going to kind of do one of these here. Okay, and you ready? So this will be perfect. Got the tail, getting it out of the way here. All right, so now we've got kind of the angle in which we want the start of our bail here. And now I'm gonna, now watch the wrap. We're gonna be doing this quite a bit here. So we'll do the harder one first this time. I usually go the other way and then I'm rushing at the end. All right, so this is gonna be a 3-time wrap. And you wanna hold really close to where you're working this whole time, because you want to keep this to be fairly tight. And at the beginning, it's always got to take a little extra time. All right, so we've done the 3 wrap, but now I'm going to come over here on the underside. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this wire around. Okay, and wrap 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 times wrap. We're going to be under. Okay, and then we're going to come around the top and come onto this other wire over here. Back over. Hop. So we're going to be hopping back and forth. Okay, now I'm going to wrap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm pulling this good and tight as we're going, and then we're going to be underneath the wire here. So we're kind of figure eighting this wire as we zigzag back and forth. Okay, and when we're kind of close to this bottom, you're not going to see how cool it is quite yet. Okay. Got this wire. Sorry, just bumped that. All right, so now I'm going to back this up just a little. So did you guys see that? So we're going 1, 2, 3, pulling it down. So you kind of look at the pendant and see what kind of bail. You're going to see that this is kind of a wider one. Okay, now we've hopped over, pulling that taut, and then coming back around. Now I'm using, again, 26 gauge silver wire. I used 18 gauge the gold wire as the base here. For anybody taking those notes. yeah, you see some of these things and might be like intimidated to start wire weaving. And so you guys, so far I've tried to just introduce the, just like 2 wires, right? We'll do another simple style, but yet looks so intricate. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to go the underside and wrap up and around, push it into place. And that's why it's nice to make sure you have a lot of wire, more wire than you think. Okay, so can we start seeing this is like the lacing up of the dresses back in the day, like those Victorian dresses. Do you guys like where this is going? What's going to happen next? It's going to be speed wrapping. All right, so I'm going to just measure what I've got here. I've got about a quarter inch. I think I like to kind of go to about a 3/4 inch. Okay, so, oops, that will happen. I'm just kind of put that a little hard out of place there, but that's okay. It's wire. It's forgiven. At least before it get any further. All right, I was on the 3rd wrap there. All right, continuing on. Get a little strong-handed there, which is why using kind of the thicker gauge, you need the sturdiness of that wire. And then I'm going to measure it here in just a second. See if I got to that 3/4 inch length. And then we'll graduate back down. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm measuring here. All right, that looks like that 3/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is, I feel like I got to finish off the side or something. It doesn't look even. Okay, and now I'm going to take a very slight bend inward on both of these sides here. Okay, and we want to kind of match up kind of close. Say that's kind of close, right? And then kind of do the same thing. I feel like this is curved just a little bit. Okay, it doesn't have to be exact here, okay? But that looks pretty close, right? We're eyeballing here. Okay. And then we're going to continue wrapping. All right. So, and again, just holding really close to where you're working to kind of keep these wires in place. And now we're gonna do the graduation down. It's kind of nice because now it'll just get faster as you get closer to the end here. And you could take a measurement because we did 3/4 of an inch. I tend to be an eyeballer because you'll kind of see this is it'll be the front and back side of the bail, right? So this is going to be on the back side. So it's okay if it's slightly different, right? You could make it slightly different because we made this. We decided we make a reversible, didn't we? So you can see it kind of gets bent out of shape sometimes. Not bent out of shape, but it might slide a little bit. But we'll get it cinched in place. Okay. One, two, three. So I cut 30 inches of the 26 gauge silver, and then we did a foot of the gold. Let's see. All right. So now we're getting it kind of to, this is how it's looking right now. And I just keep pushing down because we can keep it tight. Right, so we try to show least amount of gold wire, I suppose. Although I don't mind it showing, it just keeps the tightness about the same throughout the whole thing. And really, the secret is like holding this right where you're wrapping. Okay, that helps keep things kind of tight and in their place as you're wrapping this 26 gauge wire. Okay, let's see how we feel like we're looking. It looks like it kind of maybe came together sooner than the wire, so that's okay. I'm just going to straighten those out. In fact, now I think I'm going to end it right here and go ahead and cinch them. 1, 2. Maybe give it a couple extra wraps there for that ending. And cut off this tail. Okay. And we're going to split these wires anyway. So now I can kind of straighten her out. Alright, this is what we're looking at, which is kind of a cool piece as it is, right? You could totally probably use that. Okay, I'm going to clip that wire off. So this is what it's looking at like on the back side, right? Remember we made it reversible? Alright, this is where you can take your something round. Could be like your Sharpie for all those that are investing with Heather Powers on some Sharpies. Let's see, I think I'm going to start a little bit smaller here. And let me give you, what did I do? Let's see. Yep, it's about 1.5 inches. Okay, so just take this and round this out. You guys can see how that's looking. Okay, looking fancy. All right, so we can see that the wires are on this back side here. We're going to wrap one. Now we can decide here. Let's at least do a wrap with the one. We're going to wrap with the other, going the other way. And this is where we can decide. We have that extra wire. That's why I wanted still a little bit of spacing right here. Okay, so maybe we want to bring this now around here and say, you know, I kind of don't like all of that right there. So this is where you can add, let's see, we can add a swirl and just see what it looks like. Okay, or we can just cut that off. I like kind of this messy wrap. Oh, sorry. Just took that off screen. But you could kind of cut anytime you're ready. You know, kind of tuck it in. In fact, maybe I'm going to cut it right here. Right there and tuck it in. Right here. Okay, so essentially this would be the completed. Oh, you can see that's kind of, that messy wrap was just a little messy. All right, so there's that. And I think that is a nice look with this particular style design. All right, and then we can flip this baby over. Let's maybe cut a little bit off here and do a loopy. All right, and then I'm gonna, let's see, can I squeeze in some more? What's the time? Do I try to? All right, we're starting this spiral here. I'm gonna make it a tight spiral if I can. There's that. You could make it looser if you choose. But this, we'll see if we like it. If we don't, we just cut her off. But it might kind of look like then you can't tell. Right? Woo! All right, there it is in reverse using that extra wire to finish her off. All right, back side, front side. Voila. All right. Can I squeeze another? Oh, my time is up. All right, can I show it? All right, so we can also make this style interchangeable. Here's a copper one, and okay, you guys, I want to do it. Okay, let's do a silver one. Let's do an all silver one just because it's like here right now. I think we can fit it in. Do you guys mind? I know you guys can go do like your potty break if you want to, okay? But I'm gonna just like squeeze this other one in. So I'm gonna show now. This is attaching it directly to the pendant, okay? But now maybe you want to do like a standalone, and so I'm gonna show you not this style design. We're gonna show you something a little bit different, okay? So taking some 18 gauge, we're gonna just cut some off here. I don't need as much as the other, but I'm just gonna cut some off. And this is what I was doing the last time, is we're gonna fold this baby in half and crunch her down right there in the middle. And I'll give you one more. All right, so this is, if you don't want to, if you just want to have these handy, I guess, so that you can. Okay. Thanks, guys. All right, so I'm going to just straighten these out a little bit. And I'm just squeezing here. All right, and it's okay. You don't have, it doesn't have to be perfect, but. All right, and at the, let's see, we're going to also take some more 26 gauge. We're going to do an all silver one. Here, let's take about, I don't know, we're going to take, I think I took like 2 feet, but I don't think we're going to need that much. This is a kind of a slightly smaller materials in terms of the bail. All right, in this case, we're going to just keep these wires together, and we're going to kind of do what we already know how to do, right? So we've kind of done this style in the past. We're going to do the 2-wire, and this is going to be the 3, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to measure this part, which we can kind of adjust, but I'm trying to start in the right place. This is being about, I think this should be about between a 1/2 inch and about a 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're going to do 3, 2, 3, and I'm going to do it for about, well, I'm going to do it for about an inch worth. Let's do that. Can you guys see what I'm doing? I'm sorry. Let's see, we can zoom in. So when I say 3, 2, 3, we're going to wrap both of the wires together. I'm going to push this down. Okay, so it's going to be 3 wraps on both of them, and then doing 2 wraps on the single. Just kind of breaks up the wrapping. You know, you could do different patterns if you want. But we're going to do this for about an inch, okay? So this is going to be similar but different to, oops, I'm used to doing 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, off screen. Okay, 2. So this one I like because it kind of makes up pretty quickly. You can certainly make it bigger, so you can kind of see what size the 1 inch, say the 1 inch bail does for you. But I consider that a pretty good size. Sorry if this is a little messy. I'm just trying to be kind of quick. You know, I tend to like done by dinner style designs. Okay, I'm going to measure this. We're at about almost an inch. Okay, we'll do a couple more wraps here. Doesn't have to be exact. I'm just trying to give you some numbers to help you guesstimate. Again, we're using 18 and 26 gauge wire for the weaving part. And then we can finish her off. See how it all comes together here. So just this one little item, okay, I think that's enough. We're gonna say it's enough. Actually, I'm gonna end with a little double, I think. Okay, we'll cut this off, cut this off. Tuck those wires in. And it'll kind of, I know it's curled right now, but it'll straighten itself out here in just a moment as we do each part. All right, ready? So let's see, now we're going to kind of bend this a little bit here. We're going to bend these out again. I'm going to use my fingers. You can use your pliers. Okay. And then, again, using your Sharpie or whatever you got here that's rounded. You can start with something bigger and then work your way down. Okay, so you can kind of see how that's coming around again. Okay, so now we might have to go to the smaller one, which is fine because it's still pretty big. You could still round it out a little bit, make some adjustments. But here we are. Now we're going to keep this part simple. We're going to wrap just like we did before. Okay, so I'm holding the bail in my hand. And this we may not want to be too big. So I'm going to just do just a little wrapping on this part here. Okay, and then kind of do more maybe with this one right here. Okay. Like that. And clip, tuck. Okay, I try to make this like, this is what we're looking at now. And now we're going to curl the bottom. This is the interchangeable part, okay? So we're going to bend this and take our round nose pliers and make ourselves, we can actually make a bigger loop here. Again, it's always better to go bigger and then work your way smaller. And then I want to kind of almost tuck that in under there. So there you have yourself. So this will open up. So if you have something like so, you can open this up just like a jump ring. See if that fits in there. It does. Close this up and you have yourself a little bit fancier bail. Okay, so you can see here it is on the butterfly. So you can do the skinny bail attached right to the pendant in the skinny bail. So this is the same style as the horse pendant. You could have done this with the horse style. All right, you can also put it on things like this. So doing skinny bail. All right, I hope you guys are inspired here today to use some of those. So the idea would be kind of the same on a donut. You can take that wire up right here and make a more decorative bail. You could go this way here, keeping it simple. Okay. All right. Super awesome. Did we enjoy that? Hopefully that got your brain going, right? Kind of looking at some of those holes that we might have been nervous to, like, you know, work with and say, I can't find the right thing, and, you know, like, this is such a great pendant, but, you know, it could use something, right? Right? And of course you can add dangles and make it your own. All right, fantastic day, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Sorry to run into your bathroom break. Totally try to make sure it was worth it. let's take a look at kind of what we just did here today from afar. So remember, you guys can shop the Friday Night Live through tomorrow. So you can hop over to starsbeads.com and shop some of these very cool sawdust beads. We had them in a lot of different styles. Here is a skinny one that we just did here. So you can see the sizing of those pendants. Okay, some beautiful decoupage. We had some nice big ones as well, and some nice designs, shell inlay, beautiful stuff. Okay, and then remember, right in there, you can put in TGBE into the Friday Night Live sale. That way we put in that extra freebie into your goodie bag. If you shop on Bedoria.com, you can get 20% off on all of our gemstone rocks and miniatures, and you can use let's see, what is that, 0409 WNL. That's right on the website as well. So if you put in TGBE into the comments on Bedoria.com, when you check out, you'll also get yourself a freebie there too. Okay, so easy to get in on all of those things, and we'll see you guys on the next one. We have Christy Friesen coming up next. She is fantastic, and then the Ask Me Anything. I'm gonna see if I could try to hop on, but it's oftentimes like that's bedtime for the kiddos, so it can be sometimes a little difficult. All right, fantastic day. Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.